We've all been there, right? Either you're the one making the noise, or you're the one lying awake next to the person making the noise. Yep, we're talking about snoring. For this explainer, we're jumping into a really insightful piece from knowledge curator D.R. Nair to figure out what's actually going on when you, or maybe your partner, are sawing logs all night.
So, to kick things off, our source tells this hilarious but super relatable story. A guy is in the hospital, and an administrator basically gives him an ultimatum. Either you stop snoring, or we're moving you. And he's totally mortified, right? He says, but my wife never complained. Well, his roommate sure did. It's a funny little story, but man, it just perfectly shows how this very private sound can become a very, very public problem.
And you know what? That hospital roommate was definitely not alone in his frustration. Snoring is this incredibly common thing, kind of like a universal midnight concert, as our source so perfectly puts it.
And it really is the world's most popular. This isn't just a human thing, not by a long shot. I mean, if you've ever had a dog, you know they can be absolute world-class snorers. Even pigs get in on the action. It's this biological sound that just cuts right across species, a nightly performance happening in bedrooms all over the globe.
Okay, so we've established it's common, it's everywhere, but what is that sound, really? Let's get into the science of what's actually happening inside your body when you snore. Now, what I love about this is the analogy. The sound of snoring happens when the air you're breathing can't move freely through your nose and throat. So what happens? The soft tissues around there start to vibrate, and our source just describes it perfectly. It's like a loose sail flapping in the wind. What a simple but really powerful way to picture what's going on.
So what sets the stage for this whole vibrating sail situation? Well, it can be a few pretty common things. Sometimes it's as simple as a stuffy nose from a cold or allergies. Or carrying a little extra weight, especially around the neck, can narrow that airway. And honestly, sometimes it's just a part of getting older, as the muscle tone in your throat starts to decrease.
And this brings us to the most important question of this entire explainer. Is that sound just an annoyance for your partner, or is it trying to tell you something a lot more serious?
For most of us, let's be real, the primary definition of snoring is that it's just annoying. It's the reason for those elbow jabs in the middle of the night, right? The reason someone ends up sleeping on the couch. We see it as a disturbance, a nuisance, but ultimately, we think it's harmless. But what if that whole idea is just plain wrong? In fact, if there's one single takeaway from our source material, it's that snoring is so much more than just a nuisance. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. Look, on one hand, yeah, snoring is a noise that absolutely steals your partner's peace, no question. But on the other, more important side, it's a health warning. It actually steals your own quality of sleep, even if you don't realize it. And this is crucial. It can be a major red flag for a condition called sleep apnea. That's when you literally stop and start breathing over and over while you sleep. And that, my friends, is way, way more than just an annoyance.
So, if snoring is a potential warning sign, what can you actually do about it? Let's look at the solutions, because they range from some simple fixes to the single most important step you can possibly take.
The source offers a few quick fixes you can try, like tonight. Sometimes just changing your sleeping position, rolling onto your side, can open up your airway. There are even specific throat exercises you can do to strengthen those muscles. And for a lot of people, simple over-the-counter nasal strips can give you immediate relief by opening up your nasal passages.
But, and this is the absolute crucial point, while those fixes might help, they are not a substitute for professional advice. If your snoring is persistent and loud, and especially if you feel tired during the day, the single most important step is to talk to a doctor. You have to rule out or treat something more serious, like sleep apnea.
So let's wrap this up by hitting home why taking that noise seriously is so important for both you and for the people you share your life with.
This quote really says it all, doesn't it? Dealing with your snoring isn't just about giving your partner a quiet night. It's about taking care of your own health in the long run, especially your heart, which can get really strained by conditions like sleep apnea. It's a total win-win.
So we'll end with this question, right to you. That nightly concert might be playing a tune you really need to pay attention to. Your snoring is trying to tell you something. The only question left is, are you listening?